Hello everyone, this is Dream Shipwrecked, and today we are playing Hearts of Iron 4. This is a game produced by Paradox, which you might recognize as that insane company that makes the overcomplicated games that no one knows how to play until they've delved into about 20 hours worth of tutorials, but end up being a lot of fun in the end. So we're going to go ahead and start a new map. I've been playing for about 5 hours, I believe, so I have a basic understanding of some of the mechanics. But I'm sure that there's going to be a lot of people who are way better at this than I am. So, let's give it a shot. Right, go for France. So we can basically be any country we want. If you really wanted to play as Bulgaria, then you have that option. But we're going to go for someone who actually has a bit more of a punch. Now this game's a lot different than Crusader King 2 or anything like that, which is also produced by Paradox, and it has sort of a more military-based thing, obviously. There's a lot less politics being played, so we'll, shoot some people up. So the production is basically built into 3 different things. Research, production of materials, and productions of units. So we'll do research first. So let's say we want to put on some better equipment for our infantry, which you can see down below is what's going to change it. There's going to be better soft attack for motorized cavalry and mechanized infantry, and light infantry, obviously. Soft attack being attack versus soft targets like cavalry and regular infantry versus hard attack, which is going to be against tanks. Get some anti-tank guns, which are very important for the early game because basic infantry does not have any kind of that kind of thing. And then let's get a bonus to our construction. So we're going to go ahead and build a bunch of places. So we have a bunch of factories open. These are civilian factories, which will produce both consumer goods, which are used for trading, and build military factories, which are used for building military stuff. Go figure. So we'll throw those everywhere. Because right now we're still in the early game. We could have selected to do the, jump right into the war thing, but from my experiences, they kind of end up being a little bit hard because it's kind of a weird balance that they make with it. So we're just going to make our own thing. Now our national focus is going to be sort of a secondary research tree, which can push us towards certain things inside the game. Like we can research through here, and we can select either going with Britain and joining the Allies in the war, or, I guess not going by ourselves. And, stuff like that. So we're going to go ahead and just do some infrastructure stuff first. And then here's our material production stuff. So in order to make a unit, you need manpower, which is generated by a certain percentage of your population, and then materials. So each, let's say, infantry unit needs a certain number of infantry equipment and support equipment. And that will be burned through as they are fighting, which means that they need to be remade constantly. So we're kind of full up on all the stuff that we can make, but we'll go ahead and put a few more dockyards in, let's say, one on the destroyer, one on the cruiser. Now these are slowed down because we don't have enough materials. We need more oil. So we're going to go to our thing and say, okay, we need 10 more oil. So we're going to go to good old-fashioned America, which is built on oil, boy. And we're going to buy some oil. That's going to trade civilian goods for tactical production, whatever you want to call it, goods. And you can see there... Wait, what are we missing still? Oh, we haven't unpaused, so we haven't gotten it yet. This is a convoy, which is going to trade back and forth. So let's scroll out and see what we have available. We have good old-fashioned France here. We have a huge, giant piece of France in Africa. And a few places here and there. One there, one there. Honestly, I'm probably just going to let most of these just fall and take them back later. because it's a pain in the ass to hold down all those places. I'd much rather have my units on the border around here. Because it turns out that Spain can actually turn against the Allies and align with the Axis sometimes, which I'm pretty sure does not actually happen in World War II, or else we might be a little bit more bitter about that. Okay, and now we're going to actually make some divisions. So we have a division designer, which allows us to, make, we have these large divisions that are all made up of these individual units. So this infantry division is, 9 units of infantry plus 1 support artillery. The support artillery is actually a unit you have to make. It doesn't take up any what's called width, which means that, along here, but it also isn't as strong. So we're going to probably end up putting in some artillery, just regular artillery, when we have experience. That's the thing, we can't actually edit this until we get some army experience, which tends to rack up very quickly when you're fighting in a war, but up until then it's very slow. So we're going to go ahead and create a few infantry units, and what do we have here? A couple light tanks and some mechanized infantry, or mostly light tanks. Let's go for this one. And put him over here. So this is going to collect all the equipment that they have from our factories, and then they're going to start training them. Once they're trained up to level 2, they'll release them onto the map, or we can choose to let them go in green. Okay, and we'll unpause. So we're going to select everything here. I said everything here. There we go. And put them all into one unit together with I guess a field marshal. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I want to do... Man, a bunch of old guard guys. Don't we have anyone who is not terrible? I guess we'll go with Charles de Gaulle. Who is... shit, that's too many. Here he can only control 24 people at a time because he's not a field marshal. So I guess we'll just throw Alphonse George in, who's going to train them. Training will basically cause them to gain experience, both on a unit level and an army level, which will allow us to change out, what's in the actual units. And then we're going to use that to edit some stuff into the infantry profile. This is going to burn through both, I guess you could call it health, which in here it's called organization, and then the equipment. So we're going to burn through a shit ton of infantry equipment and all that while this is going on, but it is for the best. Constructions are going on, trade's fine, blah blah blah, research. So we're just going to go ahead and fast forward until something happens. Oh, not first. First we need to get our boats moving around. So we have a couple navies, which we're going to throw up here. Submarines? Sous-marines? That's what that is in French? I don't really know. Oh, I like it, Seawolf. Wolves of the sea indeed. And we're going to go ahead and tell them to patrol. I said tell them to patrol. There we go. So basically, they'll break up in between here and start patrolling all over the place. Same thing for this one. Throw these guys in. And tell them to patrol. I'm not really expecting anything to happen, but you never know. I'm telling them to hold this because here is the straits here, and if you lose the straits, then we're kind of cut off from all of this, which can be very problematic. And to these guys too, we can throw... Run out of commanders, but we'll say... Make sure the... Damn it. Damn it. I'm not very good, as you can probably tell. Okay. Make sure Italy doesn't get any good ideas. And you guys will patrol around here. Okay. So they'll patrol around, they'll take a look, they can grab some experience if they come into contact, or maybe even if they patrol, I'm not really sure. And then our aeroplanes are gonna patrol around and make sure that we have air superiority. I will admit that I am a little bit bad at doing airplanes. I tend to kind of completely forget about them. But we're gonna leave them here and then make sure that everyone is covered. I don't think that they can really do a whole lot of actual like attacking or like direct attack, but they can give you huge bonuses when you're trying to actually take over something. So what else we got? Alpine region. We probably should put some mountaineers over here. I'm not super sure what mountaineers actually are, but it sounds good. So we'll say to train a couple and put them over here. If anyone knows what a mountaineer is, and I guess I'm too lazy to look it up, please feel free to leave a comment and tell me what a goddamn idiot I am. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and fast forward until some things start happening. Not political things, this is mostly just going to be something where we are, you know, building up our technologies, building up our forces, making sure that Western Germany doesn't get any good ideas. Little Berlin. I didn't know that. Man, I just do not know much of history, do I? Because I have no idea how this works with Eastern and Western Germany. I thought this didn't happen until Cold War. Not sure. Then there's Eastern Poland? Western Poland. Holy shit, Poland is huge. Huh. Well, I guess I'm an idiot. Goes to show you. So as we're training, you can see we're exercising. We're slowly gaining experience. And we'll put that experience into putting some artillery and AT into our infantry units. And that's good, because infantry units really only have soft... Civil wars erupt in Spain, several genius... Okay, so this is the Spanish Revolution, which we don't actually have to do anything with, I believe. Or should we? I don't know if we can actually help them. Okay, so we built a military facility, but we need a shit ton of guns, so we're going to go ahead and throw them in there. Can we help these guys? No, I need army view. I don't know if I can actually ally with these guys, or if I, aggression pact, create faction, party popularity. I don't really know. You can't offer to join their war, I guess. But we're neutral with both of them, so I guess we'll just play the isolationist card and keep going that way. Alright, so we're just going to keep chugging along, training our stuff and seeing what's going on. Okay, good. Alright, so we've completed that, which gives us some infrastructure, which allows people to move a little bit faster around the country. Ooh, do we want to start this? Political power minus 150. We don't really want a civil war. That will cause huge problems. We'll do a diplomatic objection for now. Okay. And do this. Free factories are always a good thing, because this game lives and dies on your ability to build stuff. Because the thing is, I should show you that. Constructions, no. Production. this bar here, which says production efficiency, basically, how good are you at producing the things that you need? If I throw something new in, like a brand new factory is put in to do something, or you switch the focus of that factory to something else, then it's not going to be very efficient until you get used to making stuff. So this is what that red line is. The production efficiency will increase weekly, but until it gets up to the top, it's not going to be that great at doing what you want it to do. So you want to limit the amount of times that you switch what your production is, but also you don't want to keep using the same shitty equipment over and over again until Germany overruns you with their tanks or whatever. Should I break this up? Yeah, I may as well. I'm gonna go ahead and start separating out these guys. So in order to create a in order to create a front line, I'm going to go ahead and take this front line tool and select it. And those guys will automatically create this spiky line and line up across the border. This is basically like a huge improvement from what Hearts of Iron 3 was, where you didn't have any of this stuff. It was just all manual, which sucked. So having all this now is just awesome. So let's take a few of these guys and throw them against the southern border. Pause this for a second so I can move them around. And then all of these guys are going to go up against Germany, I think. We're still going to keep them all training, but I'm going to at least move them around a bit. Okay. It is possible to get some Navy invasions around here if you have a person who gets in and attacks from the side, but if we keep making boats, then that shouldn't be an issue. Alright, so these guys are gonna... Why are you, attrition? Oh, the exercise, of course. And, come on, give us 5, give us 5, give that experience, please. Yes, thank you. Alright, so we're gonna actually switch over to here, select our infantry division, and give them some artillery. Sorry about that. So this will apply to everyone in the world that has that model applied to them, which means that we need to make a shit ton of artillery now. Actually, we would if I had actually remembered to save. Come on. Get your shit together. There we go. So why did we do that? Well, look at the stats. So let's just take 3 things. Defense is 10, breakthrough is 6, and soft attack is 37. Compared to this, 5, 3, and 18. It's a huge amount of difference, and honestly, if we had the experience, I would just take off that support artillery and replace it with like a recon company, but unfortunately we don't. Now, we have our options of more infantry, artillery, anti-air, all that stuff. We're going to do artillery first because most people don't have tanks, I mean, at least not a huge number of tanks, and also, I'm a really big fan of artillery. I am American, and as an American, I love explosions. There's one thing that God made was explosions. As they say, God made men, Smith & Wesson made them equal, but artillery made them moral. I used to play, God, what was it? Dawn of War 1. No, not 1. It was Winter Assault, because that's when they added in the Imperial Guard. And I would just make basilisk after basilisk, which are these artillery like you'd find in this kind of game. And I would just line them up and just pound the ever-loving shit out of anything that came near me. Obviously, this was on an easy AI game, but just seeing the like Earth Shatter, like giant explosive rounds pounding down around people, it filled my heart with warmth. But we're gonna commands rearmament. No, we want that. That's actually something we'll put in later. We can use diplomatic power, political power, which is this, to change what our focus is. So we can jump up to more manpower, more different focuses, all that cool stuff. But we definitely want this. Or, oh yeah, it makes them build faster. That's good. Okay. But yeah, I think we're going to leave this episode for now. We'll hopefully jump into some war stuff next time, but we'll at least do some production. So this has been Dream Shipwrecked, and I will see you next time.